Yeah. There we go. All right, let me do this and this. And I have not prepared anything. Nothing is prepared. Thank you for the sub, Revnet.
Congrats on the new album.
Thank you. I appreciate the congrats on the new album. Where am I looking? 2023, Fun You Can Feel. All right, let's start. Let's open the first project file to begin with. I hope you guys are doing well. Like I said, I've been super busy. If you haven't been keeping up on my Instagram, last week I was in a writing camp all week doing like 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. every day. This afternoon I've got a writing session. I'm in Malaysia, by the way. I'm in Asia. I'm back in Asia. And then like shut up. And then this weekend Marion's coming up to KL where I am, and then I'm going to Singapore for a week, and then I'm back in KL for a week, and then I'm going to Bangkok. So I'm pretty busy. But I'm here to do this stream. I'm excited. It's been a while since I've streamed, and I miss doing it. So if you see me look down here, that's because I'm looking at the chat. And I'm going to switch back to OBS every now and again to check that the connection is still good. Because when I first tried to stream this earlier 10 minutes ago, it shit the bed hard. Okay. She bang on my. For real, whatever you say. Oh, I see, because I said Bangkok. Anyway, shall we get into the album? Okay, yeah, if you didn't know, I released an album. Huh. Weird. Why is Spotify... Okay, awesome. Well, I released an album. Maybe you'll just have to take my word for it. It's called Fun You Can Feel. It's out on Spotify and Apple Music and everywhere else that you listen to music. It was made with a lot of my friends. It was made over the last year, like from like this time 2022 up until I think I finished the last song in whenever Winnie came. So like in November, I think that was. Yeah, or December maybe. I think it was December actually. Yeah. It was a long project, but it was really fun. So go stream it if you haven't already. Fun You Can Feel also is a name that I really like, and it's actually my friend's like private Instagram and it's kind of the whole reason that the project exists, because originally I was going to make this a whole new alias called Fun You Can Feel, and then I decided halfway through I was like, this is stupid, I'm just going to put the album out under Charlie. Which kind of like was also like the moment where I decided that Charlie would just be the alias for my own music, whatever the genre is. Obviously, like I make a bunch of stuff for other people, and that's this playlist in case you didn't know. I make a bunch of music for a bunch of people, but for my own music now, for now at least, whatever the fucking genre it is, I'm just going to put it under Charlie because that's me. Anyway, enough Spotify, more Ableton. Yeah, today we're going to take a look at the whole fucking album. It's going to take a minute, but we're going to do it. I hope you guys are ready to learn. You guys are ready to learn? And yeah. All right, let's start with the first song, which I made on... I made almost a year ago. Ibis Park was made a year ago tomorrow, actually. Wow, look at that. Yeah, so March 31st, 2022, I started working on this song. So Bryce, BH, who is in the chat, helped me write the lyrics for this section of the song, this verse. I had a completely... I had a different idea. It's all here. I'll show you it later. Idea one, bad. Okay, so let's do the production first. It's not too complicated, I say, in an 89. Anyway, so it starts off, we got this recording. I like doing that, just recording from like my life. This loop ambience. So this is like a loop from a pack that I like I think it's by Demo Tapes, and normally it's quite fast like this. You know, it's one of those. And I just slowed it way down. I've got some granulator stuff going on up here, which I'm pretty sure was just this, which I put through a granulator or something like that. And then you get the ch-ch-ch, right? Little ch-ch-ch, the three claps. right here. Cha-cha-cha. So, oh, actually, the granulator is definitely this lead up here. So I made this lead. It's very quiet at the beginning. Just that. I put that through granulator and I got the... Yeah. We've got these extra samples. Basically building up ambience. The star of the show here is the bass, which is the resub that I have that I made ages ago, and I think I just took the filter off, so it's just straight up like loud and proud and fucking... Yeah. I think there's a bit of reverb on there, right? And then that's it. And then we've got the drums, which are quite cool. We got an Ian Ewing drum loop with the fill. Some more loops layered on top, so you get a little bit of like, you know, a few little percussion hits here and there. I love that. And then the fill. And then we have a clap or a snare, I guess, and then a clap down here. You put all that together with a few extra things. We got this, the yay sound. Some crowds. Yay. And then it comes along with the... So all that together and you get this... I'm pretty sure this is just me singing. And then auto-tuned it and pitched it up and turned it into a chop. Walter White screaming. Someone was cooking here. Someone cooked here for sure. Yeah. I'll go through the instrumental first, then we'll do the vocals. So, verse comes in, and it's pretty much exactly what's going on in the. Actually, that's not true. Anyway, the drums change, so we get a kick now. You know, I toned the percussion down, but we still have it in the fills over here. I love this loop, by the way. I think I've used it since like since the Burnt Out EP with Magent, because Magent showed me this pack, and then I love this loop, especially this little. The bass turns into an 808, just pretty standard. We've got the loop from earlier, pitched down an octave and filtered. I was on Long Weekend too. We've got this, I guess was just like a transition, like. So I just took the same loop and I put, a shifter on it and did that with it. There you go. And because in the second half, I guess it kind of gets bigger because the octave higher comes in. We have this from the loop, from the chop. So like so from this thing. Just kept the end, put some delay on it. And of course we have this thing. Or there's filter automation on this or something. Oh yeah. I don't know. It's kind of cool. I was like fucking around with the operator's like LFO on, and I guess when it's on the frequencies come through, and when it's off they don't. like they're much more low passed because the LFO like modulates the filter. It's kind of a dumb way to do this. Just use a filter instead. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And then because of like the some of the stuff in the lyrics, there's a yay again here. Because I think I go yeah. Hold on. Yeah. I go yeah. So I put a yay underneath it, and I also put a Karo vocal just to layer it all together. Yeah. Then we got my tag. And it's the same as the first chorus, except this time we've got more drums. So the drums in the first chorus or whatever go like this. Pretty low key. And this one we have like so we've got like some shaker loops and hi-hats on top of the regular percussion. The claps get bigger. And a snare. And then I layered with the kick from this kick layered with a stomp and another kick. You get a nice big kick.
Don't you know who you are? Electric. Your eyes are filled with stars.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? Tails with the raid. What's up, Spencer? Thanks for the raid, bro. We're doing a breakdown of my album. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. Okay, continuing forward. Please drop any questions. Tails is a furry. That's fucking dope. This slaps. Also Japanese Ableton. So true. Anyway. Yeah, if you got any questions about this song, drop them in the chat, or any of the other songs when I'm breaking them down, drop them in the chat. We got lake texture up here the whole time. It's just kind of noise. It's just up there, whatever. Then the end of the song is pretty simple. Basically what I did is I took that 808 from the verse and I filtered it to be so stupid small and have a bit of reverb on it. And I have this in the background of just like a fuck ton of ambient. So we have the granulator from earlier, more granulator, which is just my vocals put through granulator, some ambience, all this stuff. So like all this stuff gets like and then here for the last hit, I did like, I looped the, yeah, you can see it happening down here. It gets shorter and shorter and shorter, and then the volume gets lower. And then that happens. Yeah, there's like so these are from the next song, which is Secondhand Smoke, because it's like a continuous thing. You want to offer promotion to your channel? Thank you so much. You're the most creative person I know, straight up. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Wow, there's a lot of chats now to keep up with. Hold on, give me a sec. This slaps. Thank you guys so much for being here. Yeah, so for the next song, basically in the intro, I've got this like toy piano thing from a Fritz pack. So I like started bringing that in as well as this pad to do like the transition. You can hear it on the album, the transition between the two, like this at the end. into the next song, which we'll get into in a second. But first, the vocals. I'm trying to not spend too long on each song here because there's 7 of them and I have a limited amount of time. So the vocals, pretty fun. I guess I just came up with the idea for It's a Whole New Year pretty quickly. Is this the like
It's a whole new year.
So this was like my first just random fucking bullshit demo that I sang, and it's really bad, but like it sounded like this.
It's a whole new year, and I'm still kicking in a whole new sphere. Yeah, I finally feel it. It's a whole new year.
So I had like more stuff going on in the chorus, but then thank you for the bits. Thank you, Frosty and Moist 16 for the bits. Yeah, so I had like quite a bit going on in the chorus, and then I decided against that and just sort of letting the instrumental shine. So I have me singing.
It's a whole new year.
Layered with a bunch of layers.
It's a whole new year.
So we've got like these two.
It's a whole new year.
It's like little altar boyd up, I think, or like whatever. Then we have these two.
It's a whole new year.
Literally pitched up, and then these are just like people yelling. So there's mostly me and then a little bit of my friend Marion.
It's a whole new year. It's a whole new year. It's a whole new year. It's a whole new year.
That's all me, and then we have Marion over here.
It's a whole new year.
And then put that all together.
It's a whole new year.
And that's kind of it for there. And then, so let me show you guys the original verse, because I had a completely different one and I didn't like it as much. It was too dense. And so then I asked Bryce to write the verse. And so, but this was like the original idea. The lyrics are trash. Just listen. It's just like for an idea.
We can take the train out to the last stop on this route. Let's buy some drinks and fuck around. Don't wanna think about my worries for today. Got a little further drive down to the waterfront. Fuck being adults, let's have some fun. This time next year we'll be okay. It's a whole new year.
So like that was the original like verse idea, which I think was cool, but it was like too dense and didn't really fit the vibe I was going for. So then Bryce sent me like basically just him singing a verse. I don't have the file anymore, or not like on hand. But Bryce sent me a verse and I loved it. So then I sang it, and it was this.
It's been a really, really, really long day, and I'm finally where I want to stay. Yeah, the city that calls my name, shattered happiness I want to reclaim. Yeah, oh, it's a whole new year.
It's a whole new year. So there's like 4 layers here. We got like 2 mains down here, which are just low.
It's been a really, really, really long day.
And then 2 high ones.
It's been a really, really long day.
Yeah, definitely a less is more scenario. But yeah, and the song's about it being a whole new year, because I kind of I mean, this was like I think the third song I worked on from the project. And I was sort of like feeling like, yeah, you know what? This project is signifying a whole new year. And I did release it at the beginning of this year on purpose. Yeah, it's a whole new year. Basically, like, you know, let's fucking start anew. I wrote most of this stuff right after my trip to the US last year. And you know, I was feeling very, very inspired. And I was like, fuck, it's a whole new year. Let's write some fucking music. And that's what I did. So that's the opening track. It's a whole new year. If you've got any questions, now's the time to drop them in chat. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to the second track. Got any questions? I'll sacrifice soul for vocal chain. You can check out my vocal chain on Patreon. Patreon.com/CharlieMakesMusic. Wow. It's there. I do a whole tutorial on it. Self-ad, baby. That's right. Anyway, any questions about this song? That plug was smooth as fuck. Thank you so much. I try my best. Yeah, if you got any questions about this song, let me know. Otherwise, in like 2 seconds, I'm gonna move. Gotta make bread somehow. Yeah, man. Okay, let's move on to the next song. Oh, you got one question? Let's hear it. He's not saying it. No question. Oh, how do you transition from this to the next song? Okay. So basically I had the transition was like one of the last things that I did. And I actually ended up doing the transition. Fuck, I don't even remember how I did it. Basically most of it happens here. So the only thing that's not here is the bass that kind of comes up, and I don't remember where I did that. But basically I just took like the intro. I'll show you. You know what? I'll show you from the next one. But basically like some of the elements are right here at the end of this one. Because I knew these sounds were in the next song. And so then for the next song, which is this one, which is Secondhand Smoke, which was actually the last song I finished. Yeah, last song I finished was Secondhand Smoke. I finished writing it. I actually started writing it in April, as you can see, of 2022. You can see it on the project file name. But I could not figure out vocals that I liked. And then Winnie had sent me some vocals over Discord like a few months earlier or a few weeks earlier. And then when he came to Paris to visit, he was just like, "Hey, we should just finish writing the song." And then I finished writing the song. And that was the end of the. Well, that was it. But see, like you can see, I've got the project file, or I've got the render for It's a Whole New Year over here. And this was, yeah. And so then I had that, and I was like, okay, how do I make this transition well? And so I did it. I put Toy Piano here, which is the continuation, and I have it pitching down. Into the key of this song. And then I think an important sound ended up being this one, which I ended up moving straight to the beginning of the song in the transition, but it's these two like grained sounds that kind of like reset the pitch in your brain. And all that is just like granular stuff. So like this one's actually pitched down over here, I believe. No, it's not. Oh, it was a tape stop. So I had like the grains and I did a tape stop. And I just repeated like. Will this stream be on YouTube? I don't think so, but it'll stay on Twitch. Pinged you on Discord with the old stuff if you felt like showing it off. Thank you so much. Question not related to the project. What made you the decision to give up the alias Duumu? We'll talk about that later if we want. I did do a stream talking all about it. Someone can find it and link it one of the mods if they want to, but yeah. Anyway, let's continue on with this project. So we've got this granular thing going on. I sort of keep it going. And then we get into the second song, which is Secondhand Smoke. So for the longest time, like I said, I did not have vocals for this. I didn't have anything. It was just like an instrumental track like this. Like for the longest time, it was just this. So it's actually a very simple track instrumental wise. We'll go over everything. So we've got some granular stuff over here, which I was having fun with at the time, I guess. Then we have the guitars. So we've got just two guitars that are playing like... I'm chopping up a bit. And then we have the bass down here. See you, Zach. Thanks for coming. Yeah, so that's that. And then under here, we've got the toy piano thing, which is from the Fritz pack, and then I reversed it and did some stuff to it. And then we have this, which is just like a guitar layer on top of these, I guess. and then the song really starts. So we've got the drums, very simple drums. Oh, actually, hold on, let me show you this. So this was like a break beat. It's like a distorted drum sample that sounded like this. Oh, sorry, wait, there's my processing on that. So I pitched that way up and then like did some beats mode shit to it. Oh God, what am I doing? Okay. So like this. So what I did to do that is I set it to 16 per reserve 16th notes, pitched up 24, and set it to like the double forward mode. So it would repeat the end of each transient or each 16th note. Sounded really cool. And then I put a filter on it, then a phaser flanger, distortion, and an EQ. And that's kind of just there. All right, then we get the drums. So drums, very, very simple. Just a hi-hat, kick and clap. 1, 2, 3. Hello. Good morning. We have a bit of a fill over here because of the lyrics. The lyrics are like about a backslide on the beats on the B side, and so I was just like, let's do some fucking like that. And that's it. And that's literally all the drums for the whole song. It never changes. There's a little bit of a other fill here, but that's it. Yeah, and then other than that, we've got the guitars from earlier, like I was showing, except now the bass layer, instead of being over here, is pitched down an octave and is down here. Quite distorted, actually. It's the same recording. It's not a different recording. It's just like a pitch down an octave. And we have this on top of it as well. And of course, a little uh-oh. And all that together, you get a nice, pretty simple, nice little... A lot of the fills do exist mainly because of the writing, although the uh-ohs existed beforehand. So second half of the verse, there's the top layer that comes back in, this guy. There's a ticking sound, that's because of the writing. So here what I've got going on is just the bass comes back up and then these get pitched up an octave and get a little glitchy, which I kind of like. Especially at the end here. That's it, dude. Like, this instrumental is so simple. The bass comes back, the breakbeat comes back. What is that tag? That's my tag. It's my beat tag. It's in a lot of my songs. It's just from like a random vinyl sample I got. Did you have a general album idea for this album? Was it kind of pieced together as you go thing? Kind of both, I guess. Yeah, kind of both. I knew I wanted to make an album that had like an identity in terms of sound, but then in terms of like themes, I just kind of did what I normally do, which is write about my life. But this one I experimented with the writing a little bit more. Like this album in general, like kind of went a little bit more visceral with it or whatever compared to usual. None of my usual soft boy shit. So this one's like about being a terrible person, which kind of like tied in with some of the experiences I had in my life at some point. But yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah, hold on, let me finish this up. It's so simple, yeah. Verse 2, the only cool thing in verse 2 that's different is the car crash, which is again because of the lyrics, but basically we've got like and it's just like a crash. It's just like, so we've got a car crash. We've got a Oshi screaming. And then a kick. Like a glass. An impact. An underscores. Impact. And then another impact. And then it's all there. The demo sounds. Is the demo sound still there from that? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember. Anyway, that's the car crash. Oh yeah, this does come in the second half. Okay, yeah. So in the second half, the one thing that does change is I've got this pluck melody. Basically, I play it on two instruments because one of them has an envelope, a pitch envelope that goes up, like woo, and the other one has like down. And I just kind of move them around at random. And pan them. And then I have like, on one of them, yeah, I've got the Reason Rack plugin and it's doing some bullshit. I don't really know what's going on here. It's like if I turn it off, you can hear the difference. This is without it. And then this is with it. It's doing some percussive stuff. Yeah. And then I guess in the second half of after the crash, because of the lyrical content changing up, I like added all these like Disney-esque sounds. So I added like the melody from the bell. And then we've got some Rhodes. And then a bunch of strings. Because the tone of the lyrics kind of changes into this like nicer tone for a second. Yeah, and then that's it. Then there's another fill, another backslide to the B side, and then the end of the song is just the guitars again. Drop any production questions you have in the chat, and I will talk about the writing now and the vocals. So, yeah, this was Winnie sent something. Hold on. This was a long time coming. So I had this demo for like ages, and I sent it to a few different people to get their vocals on it, and nobody was able to write something. And then Winnie just sent me one day, like I goofed off, and so sent me this demo.
Had a backslide on the B side. Couldn't freeze time, secondhand ticking away. Been caught up in a landslide. Apologize, secondhand smoke in your face.
And I was like, cool, I like that sort of theme. And so then when Winnie came over, we kind of wrote the rest of the song. And so it's kind of about, what is it about? What the fuck is this song about? It's about being a terrible person, really. Imposter syndrome, I guess. It's going to be up here, secondhand smoke. So live a little, lose a lot, friendships, hang out by a thread. So it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, guys. And then it's like, never mind, bow to backslide on the B side. I'm going to blow some secondhand smoke in your face. Red warning. I don't care. Good conscience. I'll throw it away. I'm not going to give you a concession. I'll blow some secondhand smoke in your face. That's kind of the theme of the song. Yeah. And then we sat down one afternoon when he was in Paris, and we just wrote the rest of the song.
Live a little to lose a lot.
So the processing's pretty simple. I've got main processing over here. So we've got like an EQ, some pretty hard compression.
Little to lose a lot.
I like to compress my vocals quite a bit. I don't know why. I just think it sounds good. The basic vocal chain, which you can find on patreon.com/CharlieMakesMusic. Then Soothe 2. I didn't say anything. Soothe 2 to take care of some of those higher and lower frequencies.
Little to lose a lot.
And then a gate, because I guess there was a bit too much noise going on. And And then on the tracks themselves, we have it separated between leads and background vocals and effects. So leads just have some EQ and Pro DS and then like auto-tune on them. The background vocals have a lot of the high end taken out, a lot of compression and auto-tune. Same for the harmonies. And then effects vocals. Oh yeah, that's like the fucked up chops over here. So this like dun, dun, is actually from like just we were recording like a demo, I guess, and I just kind of kept the recording going and freestyled on it. So I was just playing it out of the speakers, right? And I was just doing like the melody for the chorus. And then I kept going. And I liked the way that those sounded, so I kept them in processed. Yeah, and the melody from the chorus was from a different demo that I had. I wonder if I can find it. It's like a song that I never released, that I made, kind of finished, and then never released. Hold on. Audio 2022. Like in the summer. Let me look up 2019. 2022. This song.
All we have is our own perception of.
Yeah, so this is where the chorus melody comes from.
They tell me move faster, feel like I'm losing control. Fast forward, I wanna put it on pause, get better. I think it's time I come clean and accept I peaked in 2019.
So that's where that came from, that melody. And I will not finish that 2019 song in its current state. I'm gonna like pitch it. So I was like, let's just use the melody from this. We were really stuck for a chorus for a while, and then I was like, what if I just sing this melody?
Red warning, I think I'll go anyway. Good conscience, I think I'll throw it away. Concession, oh no, that's out of the question. I think I'll blow some secondhand smoke in your face.
And then I used the same harmonies as that other song.
Red warning,
Sorry, these.
red warning, I think I'll go anyway. Good conscience.
And you can tell my you can hear my my background vocals have no S's or anything because it sounds fine like that, and it sounds better actually in the mix. So
Red warning, I think I'll go anyway. Good conscience, I think I'll throw it away.
shout out to Magent for that tip. He was like, yeah, I just straight up cut them out of the backing vocals, and I was like, that's genius.
I think I'll throw it away.
But yeah, so that's how that melody came about. Yeah, I'll send you that later, Ian. Yeah, second verse was kind of cool. We struggled a little bit to figure out like what to put as like think I'd rather drive into because we were like we went really far, like way too dark and then way too light, and I was just like, what if I just do like think I'd rather drive into a bah? Because originally we were going to use like actual words, like think I'd rather drive into a bridge or like into a river or something like that. And I was like, what if instead I was like, hold on, Winnie. And I started making the crash, and I was like, what about this?
Think I'd rather drive into a better state of mind.
And then I was like, because we had the crash, we go into this like nice section with the harmonies, and it's like a better. What if I think I'd rather drive into a better state of mind if I could have, and then a better state of mind. No, I wouldn't. And then I backslide back to the B side.
A better state of mind if I could have. A better state of mind, no, I would have. Got a backslide on.
So that's kind of how that came about. And that's pretty much it for Secondhand Smoke. It's a very simple song. Let me know if you've got any questions regarding the production or anything else before I go off on something else on the next song, which is Ibis Park. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. This album was a lot of fun to work on. It was like a really funny experience. You want to listen the percussive things? Oh, I talked about that a little earlier. This stuff? Are you talking about this stuff, Ian? Yeah, so it's literally just like I said it earlier. It's a distorted. Okay, hold on. It's a drum sample that sounds like this. And I like pitched it up and put it into beats mode, and then pitched it up 24. And then I put a processing on it, so I've got an LFO LFO bandpass, a flanger, some distortion, and some filtering. And that's it. And it just kind of turns into this like. Was there one point in the Spotify version where the O's were forgotten? I don't think so. I think they're all there. Maybe your brain is silly. Anyway, let's move on. Ibis Park. Ibis Park was the first song that I made for this project, and I made it with my good friend Ham, aka among the others, aka Abraham. Abraham. I call him Ham. So this is like, so it's kind of split into two projects. I started working on it, and then I sent him what I had, and he worked on it in FL, and then we brought it back to Ableton. This was all when I was in LA, and we did this all in like mostly a day, maybe 2 days to work on the song. But yeah, so I started with like these. And then the layer on top. These chords were in there originally, but we took them out. Oh, I think that's just, never mind. I'm stupid. That's just the one that I rendered. But yeah. Clap. Whatever that sound is. Just a percussion sound I found. Then the drums, I guess, come in, but it's kind of bass and drums because I didn't do a kick. I just did an 808. So the drums are like pretty simple. You just got to clap and some hi-hats and then some like sprinkly hi-hats. Like that. The 808 is just. And we have a layer that's like octaves. You kind of get this nice big. There's this, which I recorded over the bit. It got really fucked up there. Basically, like, I didn't get the timing right, and so I just kind of fucked up the recording. Like, the warping went crazy here, and I was just like, yeah, fine, it sounds cool, so I'll just leave it in. So you get this, like, this warpy, wacky mess, and I was like, cool, that's fine. So this is like the last word from the vocals. I just put a bunch of delay on it. This is a technique that we did during the Burnt Out EP as well, quite a bit. And I just put a bunch of delay and just sort of. There you go. And then here we go. Chorus. Chorus was just like a chilled out version of the verse. So we had this pad thing. We have these extra layers. And then we've got like this fake bass, which is just the guitar pitch down. And so I started writing the vocals over this, which is kind of
Riding my bike, I'm online, trying to get out of the house, trying to get out of my head, but I keep running into these rocks that I used to climb as a kid, like.
So there was different lyrics at the time too.
Riding my bike, I'm online, trying to get out of the house, trying to get out of my head, but I keep running into these rocks that I used to climb as a kid, like. How did it all go wrong so fast? How did I grow it out just last? We got us hanging out at Arbors Park.
No lyrics yet. And that was it. Then I sent it off to, thank you,
I'm
Ashley.
feeling the fun.
Thank you, Ashley, for the sub. Yeah, and then I sent it off to Ham. Well, I didn't send it off. I just gave him the stems when I was in his apartment, and then he worked on it, and then it came back to Ableton, where we did the final session. Over here, how long have I been streaming? 53 minutes, and I'm on song number 3. I'm gonna need to speed this up because these only get more complicated. Okay, so you can see the project's a lot bigger now. There's a lot more going on. So my stems are up here, I guess. So we've got like the guitar stuff up here, which has just been generally cleaned up, basically. The beginning of the song is just like the same as before. The clap comes in. And I think now the 808's a bit more punchy. So this is all the same, except it's just mixed better. Yeah, Ham added a bunch of like effects to go into the chorus. And then we get so I just added this little sound. I pitched up the guitar. Ham added all these little wacky little sounds. So we have these other sounds that come in. So here, Ham added like this indie bass, and then he also added a bunch of stuff to the drums, so you get like just a bunch of like percussion stuff that just kind of makes everything more interesting. There's a few little perk effects like that. Like shakers and hats over here, but generally it's the same stuff, just like mainly the bass, the guitars. It's quite simple. Yeah, again, if you have any questions about the production, drop them in the chat so I can go over them, because I'm going to go over the rest of the songs pretty quickly. I don't want to be here for 3 hours. I don't have time to be here for 3 hours. Okay, then pre-chorus comes back basically. We have this little pause. This was 1, 2, 3. This was originally twice as long, but we decided to shorten it to half the length. Little like turnaround section. Why did it all go wrong so fast? How did I burn out just last week? I was hanging out at Ibis Park. And then the chorus is the same. So the vocals obviously changed a bit. So
riding my bike, I'm online, trying to get out of the house, trying to get out of my head, but it's just running around and around. I'm so confused, I'm not alright. How did it all go wrong so fast? How did I grow it out just last week? I was hanging out at Ibis Park.
So obviously there's a song about growing up. Ibis Park is a park near where I used to grow up. And then we wrote like about, you know, I said, I don't want to hear it. Just grow up. It's for the best. All right. And midnight's just another number. So that's kind of like grown-ups telling you that, you know, I don't want to hear you. Don't want to grow. You got to become a grown-up. And then I say, don't start now. It's not worth it. Don't grow up. It's all a big mistake. Because midnight's just around the corner, as in death. Yeah. And I had fun with this, singing in a higher octave than I usually do. Like, this is not a singing style I normally do, but I had quite a bit of fun doing it. So. Also, this song is obviously super inspired by Morris Island by Soup Andreas. It's basically a ripoff, but yeah.
I said I don't wanna hear it. Just grow up, it's for the best, alright. Midnight's just another number. To start now is not worth it.
Basically, like, the moral of like this instrumental is that there's just quite a bit of layering and pads and stuff. You can kind of hear them. At first, it's mainly just guitars and a few synths, and then in the second half, you get these like fuzzy layers start acting like a pad. Sorry, these.
Don't grow up, it's all a big mistake. It's midnight's just around the corner.
So this was a fun track to work on, for real. Like, this was the first one that I did where I showed Morris Island to him, and he was like, this is fucking dope. Yeah, let's absolutely do something like this. And so shout out to Ham. I don't think he's here, but Ham is kind of the reason that this song exists and is the reason that this album exists. So shout out to Ham. But yeah, any questions about Ibis Park? Otherwise, let's move on. I don't want to, like I said, I don't have time. I have a session later today, and I need to get my shit together. Any questions about any of the songs, drop them in chat. Please drop them in chat. That way I can cover some, I can cover whatever you want to hear about. If you heard the album and you had some questions, let me know. Next up, we're doing 18. So I actually did a full breakdown of 18 on my Patreon. Another plug, sorry. So I'm going to go through this one relatively quickly, but it is cool. I do like 18 quite a bit. So let me open up the project now. Consider supporting me on Patreon. Gotta make a living. Song 4 out of 7, and we are an hour in. I think I can do this in 2 hours. Should be doable. Although the next few songs, these 3 are quite interesting production-wise and stuff, so. Yeah, like I said, there's a full breakdown, in-depth breakdown of this song on Patreon. So I'm gonna go through this one rather quickly. It's also not super complicated. Obviously, the main. Okay, I'm going to address the elephant in the room here because I got comment bombed over this. People were saying I was ripping off Def Sharp. Def Sharp's song "Tell Me" was an inspiration for this song, and Def Sharp knows this. But I think my song is pretty different from Def Sharp's "Tell Me" for a lot of different reasons. So just gonna get that out of the way. Yes, I know the first line has a similar melody and that doesn't help my case. Whatever. Anyway, the intro was quite a lot of fun. Can you feel the fun?
Can you feel the fun?
Basically, I just hit up a bunch of my friends and I was like, hey, can you record yourself saying, can you feel the fun in 3 different ways and send it to me? And I actually have some recordings here because I asked my mom to do it and I was doing it I was just FaceTiming her and I was recording it. And so there's just me going like...
Attends, je marche.
Celui avec la bouche pleine, j'en ai rien à faire. Je te mets devant le micro. Can you feel the fun in 3 different ways?
And that's kind of in there. Yeah, and it's just like a bunch of people. We've got like,
Can you feel the fun?
that's Emiya.
Can you feel the
Wait, no, that's
Can you feel the
that's Marion. That's Emiya.
Can you feel the fun?
We got
Can you feel the fun?
that's Rob, aka Corey.
Can you feel the fun?
That's also Marion.
Can you feel the fun?
That's Dossie.
Can you feel the fun?
There's Rob again. There's a really dumb one that Toby did.
Fun.
Can you feel the fun?
Oh, there it is.
Fun.
Can you feel the fun?
This one.
Can you feel the fun?
That's Toby. Yeah. So a bunch of my friends are here saying, yeah. So it's saying, can you feel the fun? And then I just sort of did processing on it. So we've got like some OTT and stuff, but the most important thing is this delay that kind of like gets faster and faster, which kind of makes the intensity ramp up because it gets higher and higher pitched.
Can you feel the fun?
Can you feel the fun?
Can you feel the fun? Can you feel the fun?
And so, yeah. And then Marion's one to end it off because it's quite a, can you feel the fun? I really like that one. So that's paired up with this pad. Comes in very slowly. As well as this melodic sample that I put like a fuck ton of weird shit on. So in case it wasn't clear, this song is a letter to my 18-year-old self about all the stupid mistakes I did. So there's a lot of references to shit that I did when I was younger. Let's talk about the instrumental first, though. So very simple. We've just got me recording some guitar, some drums over here, just hi-hats and snares, a few lasers, and a few bigger lasers, and then some impacts. Those are just like a collection of impact sounds from various packs, and then of course there's the calibrate impact from the underscores pack. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun that you can feel, actually. And yeah, and then second half, okay, so wait, anything else up here? No, it's very simple. That's literally just it. There's these like come in at the end of the phrases. Second half, sub comes in. We have a major fifth on the bass. It's literally the same recording. I just pitched it up. And then we've got these. That's it. So then the pre-chorus swells in with this tremolo sample I got from Neat when we were working on Mirrors. There's an impact, classic, and then the guitar or the pad is back. This pad and then this guitar, and with the ambience from the pad and these grainy sounds, that's the whole pre-chorus instrumental wise. We have a drop. So I let the major fifth run along with the melodies. And I had this bass down here. Feel free to copy it. Different face cam. Yeah, I'm not home at all. So the bass was actually made from, sorry, the kick was made from the bass. I took that patch and turned it into that. And it actually pitches. If I turn the decay up, you can hear. It actually pitches with the bass. And then there's this like beep sound, which I'll explain in a bit, but basically I have this rack over here at the end for the distorted guitars for the final chorus. And before one of the recordings, which was this one, Caution Volume, there was like a little bit that was here, and I accidentally left it in, and I was like, hey, that's cool as fuck, I'm going to use it. And so I just put it in the drop, I mean. There's my tag. Shut up. Second verse is the same. I think the only difference is these melodies are in from the beginning, as opposed to, and the second half is again exactly the same. And then the second pre-chorus is a bit different, so I kind of went nuts on the chords. Went for this sort of weird chord, and to help that transition sort of flow better, I added some like ahs, which is literally just me. And the only other difference is that I've got these distorted guitars that come in like slowly throughout the pre-chorus. So they're completely silent at first and slowly like that. So that's the only difference. You get the little, and then we have sort of the a 2-bar build up again. So we can talk about this a bit. So the drums sound like shit on their own. That's it. It's just like a snare on every beat and then the kick just going stupid. Some MIDI drums in there. That's it. The bass is just kind of a big... following the rhythm of the guitars. Originally, I wanted to do like an actual bass guitar, but then it just sounded bad. And then the chords, so they're over here bounced. I'll show you the individual parts, but it sounds like... So basically, this is like a group that I've been using to make my distorted guitars since Good News Right. So we've got a bass layer on top. Then I duplicate those and make harmonies out of them. Then I record the actual chords. So we've got them here left and right. And then this middle one's an octave higher. And then over here we have fifths. And so I think I just bounced the chords and the rest of them is still in there. And then basically there's processing on this whole group. If I turn it off, everything off though, it sounds just like normal ass guitars. You turn all this, it's just a fuck ton of distortion. So overdrive, gate, chorus, a lot of compression, isotope trash, and pedal. And then with the distortion that's on the full group, we've got like EQ, a compression, normal stuff, then a redux. Adds a tiny bit of high end, another chorus, another EQ, another OTT, another EQ, whatever this is, and then Perky 3. Yeah, and then like all that together, you get this big like. I went into a lot of detail about this in the Patreon breakdown of this song, so sorry to plug again, but it's there. Anyway, on top of this, we've got distorted pads, which is stuff that I was doing in the last Duumu EP a lot, like the final one. I was doing these like distorted pads a lot. And they actually get more and more distorted, so you can see the OTT amount goes up, but then also the overdrive amount also goes up. Yeah. And at the end, I re-recorded the last chord of everything so that it would sort of just end nicely on a... Just let it ring out. Yeah, let it ring out and die off. The pad comes back in very slowly, and then we have the ending guitar, which is just in a completely different time signature and tempo, but yeah, just sort of... And of course, some random recording of me talking to my friend. And at the end here, there's this Fritz pad. Just a beautiful little pad that adds a nice little texture. Drop any production questions in the chat. We're getting to the vocals now. So this song, as I said, is a letter to my 18-year-old self. So there's a lot of references to when I was 18 in here. There's a lot of also scolding myself with the...
You fucked up again?
Yeah. It was a fun song to write because when I was 18, I made a lot of mistakes, but I don't regret them, you know? And I think my favorite line in the entire album is this line over here where I go right here.
You tell me I'm cynical, but I just happen to know what comes next.
You'd tell me I'm cynical, but I just happen to know what comes next. I think that's my favorite line on the album, just because it's true. I think like if my 18-year-old self met me now and I told him some of the things that I knew, he'd tell me I'm cynical. But I'm not. It's just that I happen to know what comes next because I'm not 18 anymore. I'm 23. So, yeah. You can see the vocals are very simple. There's only 3 tracks. I don't think I did any harmonies or anything. I did some doubles over here on certain parts.
Or so you thought you run head.
And the doubles are actually processed to be like alter void up.
Or so you thought you run head first into trouble.
So it sounds really dumb. But yeah, there's like I said, a lot of references. I talked about this in the breakdown as well, but for instance, the line like
just about a week.
This one here.
A 27-hour flight doesn't seem so bad anymore.
That's in reference to when I was 18, I was in a long distance relationship for a long time already, and I was flying 27 hours to go see her and stuff like that. Same for like this one.
8th floor, 10th room on your right, please.
8th floor, 10th room on your right, please is a reference to the first apartment that I had in university, which was on the 8th floor, and it was room 810, which was on the right side of the corridor. So 8th room, 10th floor on the right, please. It's just like a bunch of references that only me and a few of my friends would understand to my life when I was 18. But yeah, it's a song that meant a lot to me, especially like lyrically. And so that's why I made it the first single. Also because the intro fucking slaps. But yeah, so let me know any questions you have for this song in the chat. If not, we're going to move on to Good News Right, which I believe was actually the second song I made for the project. Any questions, class? You got any questions, class? I'm going to go grab some water while you guys think of questions to ask me. And I'll just grab some water. Ah. Staying hydrated. Whew. I think exclamation point Discord, yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, seems like we got no questions, so let's move on to Good News Right, which, as I said, was the second song I made for this project. I made it right when I came back from the States. Yeah, I think I landed from the States on the 18th of March or something like that. And then 22nd of March, I started working on this song. So literally like 2 days later. This one's fun. This one's big too. What's going on here? Soothe 2 on 29 group. Where is that? Is that the guitars? Oh God, my computer is struggling. This is a bigger project. Oh, 29 group is in the vocals. Awesome. A lot of vocals going on. I'm assuming this was in the high end. Okay. Yeah, this is a bigger project at 121 tracks, one of the biggest ones on the album, which is kind of stupid because it's actually not that complicated a song. Anyway, let's go on. So, starts off with guitar. And so we'll do the vocals at the end, like I said. So this was started kind of weirdly. I found this sample on Looperman, which was just like it was like a very different, hold on, I think I have it. In the project, if I do samples imported, Looperman, not there. Not there. There it is. This is what it sounded like. So this was the sample that I was using. And I like... That's what I turned it into. I also put a glitchy guitar underneath it. So you get this like full group of wacky shit going on, and then the reason, yeah, there's like a shifter delay on as well here, which is kind of why it's doing all that weird shit. But it's kind of cool. It just sounds like that, and I had it layered with this. And that's also layered with which is again just my guitar pitch down and then processed like this. Yeah, we've got this, which is from the same Looperman sample. It's just kind of up there as like a layer. And then drums, which are pretty simple as well. Just a bunch of percussion. You can tell I was in the same mindset as Ibis Park for this one because the percussion's quite similar. But yeah. Along with the oh yeah, this was fun. I just sort of took those glitchy guitars and did a So here, everything stays the same except the drums kind of change up in rhythm. Actually, no, they don't. It's just that the 808 stuff goes away and the bass sort of shines through. And then we have the chorus that comes in. So I almost didn't use this because I thought it sounded too pretty or like not on brand enough. And then I was like, I'm being stupid. This sounds fucking dope. So we've got the bass thing going on. And the chords. And then this top layer, which is the da-na-na-na. And then, of course, all this at the top. And it's just got this really pretty, like... Yeah. And that's the chorus. And then we've got this, like, wacky... fucked up the sample here. It's literally just like beats mode pitched up, and it just kind of back into the exact same instrumental. I actually think this is identical. There's this. Oh yeah, these are the buttons that are because in the lyrics it goes like you're just pressing all my buttons. You never ever gave a shit. You're just pressing all my buttons and me. So what I did is I chopped up a bunch of the stuff over here. So like this stuff oh god, what am I doing? I think this stuff I chopped up. Like that. Just kind of went stupid. And then I added these. We've got these like, and then these as well. Like that. So it's all the buttons that you're pressing, right? Yeah, it's the same. And then the chorus just gets extended. So we have the same sample at the end here, except this time the claps and hats come back and a bass comes in. And so this over here is part of the guitars that I recorded down, because I put processing on them. So that just keeps going for the rest of the song pretty much until the final chorus. Some of the stuff comes back. And then it changes. So this was my first time really experimenting with some punk-ish, like punk aesthetics. So the drums are quite fun as well. Again, they sound terrible on their own. The bass kind of does its own thing as well. And the chords are similar to before, where it's just like the chords themselves and then a fifth layer on top. Like this. And that's layered on top of these. And all of them layered, you get this like layered with this, which is just the bass layer. So this was actually the first thing that I made in the song, was actually this part. And then I made the rest afterwards. Second half of that chorus, these top layers come in. And you get this whole big thing, right? Oh yeah, and then these come back as well. So I had some fun there. Is there anything else in here that I need to talk about, production wise? Not really. I guess we can talk about the ending of the song now. Again, if you've got any questions, drop them in chat. Otherwise, I can't answer them. Yeah, at the end of the song, I wanted to have like this big, like, it kind of felt like a band just kind of doing like the end of the show, like the drummers going nuts or whatever. And so all I did is I took the tempo of the song and I slowed it way down to 20 at the end here. So slow it progressively, and then on the last hit, and that led to like everything doing some weird shit. So the drums did end up sounding like a drummer just going nuts on the drum kit, like that. And then again, the bass is kind of the same. Like that, and same for the guitars. So it all goes pretty stupid. And that's how I did the ending here. Where like things progressively slow down, then go down the penis, and then back up the penis. Oh yeah, and I sang, like, outside of the vocals, I just sang, like, I had sung these, like, demo vocals. Hold on, let me duplicate this, unfreeze it. So I had these, like, I was just kind of going stupid. And at the end, I just sang this, like, that, yeah. And then I auto-tuned the fuck out of it. And then because it slows down, it turns into, like, an actual, like, completely accidentally. And it was pretty fun. So, yeah.
Without further ado, happy birthday.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So that was a clip from when we were in New York, and one of our friends, Eric, there's a there's a picture online of a cop who looks like Eric. And so the day before Eric arrived, we went to this thrift store and we found a cop outfit, and we were like, we have to buy this for Eric. And so we bought it, and this was on his birthday. We gave it to him, and this was his reaction. Just
Happy birthday.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah. All right, let's talk about the vocals. So I'm not too sure what the song's about. I didn't really write. This one is a rare song where I just kind of wrote about whatever. I guess it's about like someone that you really like, and then you end up not liking them because you find out that they're a terrible person. So we've got like,
Thought you might just be busy, It's been a minute since you called me back, and I'm not usually so forward about it, but I just think that we might hit it off, and that's why.
So like, I'm talking about like, yeah, I met this person. I think it's cool. I'm not usually very forward. Let's talk. And then I feel a little nervous when you walk in.
I feel a little nervous when you walk in. Think it started when you looked in my direction. You're just hitting all the marks and I'm invested. Yeah, I'm here for it.
Then you get a taste of like, oh, maybe this didn't go so well with the still no news, but that's good news, right? Yeah, this one's lyrically dense, bro. There's a lot going on here. It's the same for Dead Bodies and Lime Scooters. Yeah, I spent a lot of time looking backwards. Still no news, but that's good news, right? So it's like I haven't heard back from them in a while. Again, none of this is based on experience. I was like, this seems like a cool subject to write about. I don't really have a process when it comes to writing. Most of the time I write about stuff that happens to me in real life, but sometimes I like to just throw in a curveball and just write about something random. And I really struggled with this one to figure out something, but eventually I managed to start the song off with like a thought you might just be busy, you know? Yeah, and then the second verse is kind of like a 180, so it's like, I actually really like this. So we got the fuck the cloud, fuck your friends, fuck it all right. I did a bunch of stupid little ad-libs over here.
Fuck the club, fuck your friends, fuck it alright. Fuck the little things you said to get damn life, and I don't know why. You think I let you into my...
And it's the same over here. We've got the...
It makes me sick.
Like that over the...
You're just pressing all my buttons, it makes me sick, and I'm tired of it.
So just like having fun with it. But what I do like about the second verse is the way that it like... So this like... I feel a little nervous when you walk in. Think it started when you looked in my direction. I sort of like changed that to feel a bit explosive when you walk in. Think it started when you never ever gave a shit. I like that sort of parallel between the two. I thought it was pretty cool to have like the...
I feel a little nervous when you walk in. Think it started when you looked in my direction.
And then it changes to this like...
I feel a bit explosive when you walk in. Think it started when you never ever gave a shit.
So it's kind of like a change of vibe. And then the song's about like this person basically focusing on their social media and their numbers, right? So that's like, you spend a lot of time looking outwards instead of inwards. You should always be looking inwards. Focus on your numbers. No, that's bad, right? Have you considered that it might be time to grow up because you're a child and you should grow up? So
spent a lot of time looking backwards. Still no news, but that's good news, right? I've considered that it might be time to give it up. You spent a lot of time looking outwards. Focused on your numbers, no, that's bad, right? Have you considered that?
So originally I had sang all of these at the same sort of like volume. Oh yeah, I left the demo in here. This was just like the demo shit. And I had like just the melody. Hold on, let me turn this off and turn this up. So I had the melody and I was like, hey, I'm going to leave this in the back just quietly. So I had this melody and then I wrote to it, which is usually how I write. But yeah, so originally I had sung everything quite softly. So same here. But I thought like, now that the intensity is ramping up a bit, I'm going to sing it a bit louder as well.
You spent a lot of time looking outwards.
It's all layered.
You spent a lot of time looking outwards.
And we've got these harmonies, which is just like a single note going up and down.
You spent a lot of time looking outwards. Focused on your numbers, now it's been right.
And I literally manually changed the volume, the pitch. You can hear it click like crazy. That's also this out here at the end is like just me fucking around with a vocal. So this like is actually the end of this.
Up, 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 up.
That turned into... And it's just like a bunch of... There's like little altar boy. There's a shifter shit going on over here. Some formant stuff going on. And then echo. Yeah. There you go.
Have you considered that it might be time to grow up?
And there's some fun stuff around here. You can see this is actually the demo. So I actually intended to re-record this part, especially where I switched to like the head voice over here. Oh no, sorry. This part. This part I intended on re-recording when I switch from...
Still no good news, right? Still no news, but that's good news, right? Right?
I intended on re-recording that but I decided that I would like keep them in because it sounded kind of raw and stupid and nice. Yeah, up here there's a lot going on. So we've got like the still no news, but there's good news, right?
News, but that's good news, right?
With a bunch of delay.
Still no news, but that's good.
And we've got this like ad lib stuff going on.
Still no news. Still no news. That's good news, right?
It's all kind of in there.
Still no news, but that's good news, right? Still no news, but that's good news, right? Still no news, but that's good news, right?
I like this section a lot.
Still no news, but that's good news, right?
Yeah, and then at the end I just kind of sang it as hard as I could, and I distorted the shit out of it because it sounded terrible. But like, oh sorry, that's my yelling. Let's ignore that. Here we go. So this was just like me singing it as loud as I could, which didn't sound very good.
Still no news, but
Like my voice cracks and shit.
still no news, but that's good news, right? Still no news, but that's good news, right? Still no news.
But then with some compression, and over here I've got this layer just completely fucked up. Then there's just an overdrive, and that's layered with the dry.
Still no news, but that's good news, right? Still no news, but that's good news, right? Still no news, but
And we ended up with like a big. And we've got these on top, of course.
still no news, but that's good news, right? Still no news, but that's good news, right? Still no news, but that's good news, right?
Yeah, so it was a pretty fun song. Yeah, the voice crack actually turned out pretty well. I thought it was kind of fun. And I kind of like that the vocals sound like shit over here. But yeah, that's good news, right? So again, as usual, any questions, drop them in the chat. I'm happy to answer. Oh man. If we can move on to the next one, which is Dead Bodies and Lime Scooters, which is also one that I really like. Just waiting a little bit for questions, but yeah, this song was fun. Second song I made, and like I said, I actually started it with the big part at the end, and then I was like, okay, I want to build something around this, and so I managed to do it. I contemplated making this middle section much longer, but it just felt too draggy that way, and so I ended up just not doing that. Okay, looks like we don't have too many questions, so let's move on to Dead Bodies and Lime Scooters. Next to last song. So you can see there's actually a few versions of this song, and I'm actually going to need to go and find her to figure out which one it is. Okay, it's this one. I really struggled with the structure for Dead Bodies and Lime Scooters. I had a version where I didn't have that ending part where it goes all rocky. I had a version where there was a break before that, and it wasn't just directly after the verse, but it was weird. That song was weird to structure, but in the end I think I made the right decision. Interesting that you started with the end and not what I expected, but I love it. Yeah, it's like, it's not uncommon for me to like start with something like bigger, and then I'm like, I want to build up to this. So it's actually kind of the same with my song Not the Same under the Duumu project. I started that with the final chorus, and then I built the rest of the song around it. Yeah. All right. Dead Bodies and Lime Scooters coming in at 122 tracks. These songs are way too big. So this one was quite fun. I was experimenting with some new production techniques that I had learned, namely using corpus as a as a way to get like cool plucks. So that's where these like originally sounded like this, and then I added them in the chorus. They actually have like this corpus thing going on. Where they're following the bass. But we'll talk about that in a sec. So, song starts. We've got a recording of me talking to someone. I think I was on a date or something, and we were talking about walking around Paris, and I was telling them how I don't usually do this.
I never do this stuff.
You don't do it.
No.
Yeah.
And that's that. And we just got like a...
I never do this stuff.
You don't do it.
No.
Yeah.
So we've got this pad from Rack. This is an absolutely classic sound, and pretty similar to a lot of these other songs. The verses are pretty simple. There's just like some bass stuff going on. And like just building upon that. So we've got these that come in, the actual bass and the drums. I like this section a lot. Just on its own right now, you know? Yeah, this gives like wait, let me when you see my face, hope it gives you hell, hope it gives you hell. When you walk my way, hope it gives you hell, hope it gives you hell. So I had like a lot of like old school like rock and punk vibes in this album in general, just because I was on that vibe for a while. Still am, to be honest. But yeah, we've got this random pluck from the underscores pack that I thought sounded good. I low passed it and it's kind of there in the background. Like that. The plucks are still there. These little. Yeah. Then we get into the pre-chorus. So I just recorded. The weird guitar is kind of just stupid. It's just I just recorded some guitar and then put like. I was having fun with Shifter at the time, and I was just messing around with the Shifter window, and that's what's doing all this stuff. That's literally all that is. Like, there's nothing else on this that's making it sound like that. We got a pad underneath it, and the rack pad, some beeps. And then this over here is like from the chorus, so I like a preview, I guess, of the rhythm. Right. So for the bass in this one, I actually did something that last time I did was on a song called Camera Roll that I did for Fion. And so what I did is I've got this 808, obviously. Sorry. Layered with this bass. And then over here, what I have is just like, okay, that. So I compress the shit out of it. Then I put corpus, and I used MIDI from bass, from this bass sound, and you kind of get this. And then you put overdrive on it, some filtering and stuff, and you get this like. I have it side chaining to the bass itself, so it doesn't interfere too much. But that was a fun little technique that I did. The drums are quite simple as well. So I don't know why the tambourine stops here. I don't think that was on purpose. Kind of just a mistake. It's in the album now, whatever. So over here I've got this auto pan group, which just has all these. So we've got a rack synth. That, and then just a little, and then all of that gets put on the group, and you listen to it with the bass, and you kind of get an idea for what's going on in terms of like rhythm. It's layered with these guitars on top. Yeah, and then these, of course. So this is a similar technique to the one I did for the bass, except I put it on the pluck, and I have the decay going up, and I've got this really stupid EQ pushing the low end into the saturator and then taking it out. And then there's a pad underneath the whole thing. And all together you get this. The beep comes in. Back into the verse, which is the same for the first half, and then we've got back in. Oh, so here I think the progression changes, like the bass changes. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, the bass in this case is literally just the corpus now, and I'm not sure where it's getting the MIDI from. Oh, I was manually tuning this one. So I was manually tuning that part. Yeah. Similar stuff, just a different chord progression. Pre-chorus, same. Again, any questions, drop them in the chat because I can't go over everything. Yeah, second chorus is the same except the beginning is a bit more like bo bo. And then, of course, at the end, we've got this. So this is the same as every time. I've got a little fill over here. So that's just an operator doing that. A button. We've got a few little, and then that and all together you get this, as well as the pad fill over here. And then the guitars, which are the same as before, the same group, the same processing. So you got the chords down here. So actually, originally when I recorded the guitars, all of them had this rhythm. But I didn't like that, so I couldn't be bothered to re-record them, so I just duplicated them over, but with the amount of distortion, you can't tell. Layered with a bass layer. And then a top layer. And I think over here I also added, because I was hearing it in the guitars, I added this like lead. So you get this, yeah, and also because the drums in that section go to halftime. So it starts out with like these full beans. And then it goes. Like that. Yeah. Transition into the pre-chorus guitar here. And we have the end of the song. There you go. I think that's it for production. I believe that is it for production. Again, if I'm missing something you want to know about, let me know. Vocals wise, so this song was about coming back to France, which was a difficult move for me, especially for the first few months. And so that's kind of what this is about. So we've got like leaving my friends and coming back to France. I'll explain the title when I get to, I'll explain the title now. So Dead Bodies and Lime Scooters comes from a conversation I was having with Gabby Start. Gabby came to visit me in Paris in April, and it was a really hot day out, and we were hanging out. And he was like, man, I really want to go swimming. And I told him, you do not want to go swim in the Seine, which is the river that's in Paris. I was like, you do not want to go swim in the Seine. All there is in there is Dead Bodies and Lime Scooters. And I was like, oh, that's a great title for a song. Let me write that down. So I wrote it down. And then I made a song called Dead Bodies and Lime Scooters about my return to Paris. And so that's kind of what the lyrical content is about, where you've got like big smile goodbyes.
Big smile goodbyes come together. You can say time flies, it's never slower. I don't want to get burned, but I'm playing with fire.
Because I keep moving from place to place. I don't want to get burnt, but I'm playing with fire. Then I did a little reference to the previous song.
Still no news, but there's good news, right? At least I got an answer from you last time.
Yeah, and then there's another reference over here. Because this was a song that was inspired by Gabby, I put
a little more in my mouth,
which is a Gabby Start song called Mid. All right, so I have the acapella for the song down here.
A little more in my mouth.
And then I have the sample that he used at the beginning of the song there.
Nobody owes you anything.
That's in there too, so you get this like
a little more in my mouth.
Nobody owes you anything.
They're telling me it's for my health.
So this part was partially written by Winnie as well. Winnie helped writing a lot of these songs. So did then Dossie. A bunch of people helped writing. I can go over the credits in a sec, but yeah. I'm not sure what this part's about. I guess it's about like maybe smoking or whatever. Like they're telling me it's for my health. I should have known for a while.
And I would have
known. I don't know what it's about. And then we talk about unattended friendships fall apart.
Unattended friendships fall apart. Send another message unreplied.
Send another message unreplied. The chorus was also, I think, some of my favorite writing that I've done. I had the melody down pretty early on. And then I just sort of went nuts on it.
Sidestep cigarettes on the sidewalk. Focus all your attention on the wrong one. Figured home might feel like you're homebound, but all you got was wasted time. Episodic lifetime, draw the curtain. Reconstruct my mind through the right lens. Close the book, flip the script, tell me you're the writer. In the end, it's just bodies in the river.
So that was kind of just a general description of how I felt when I came back to Paris. Sidestep ciggies on the sidewalks, everybody smokes. Focused all your attention on the wrong one, which is kind of like me talking about how I was focusing all of my attention on the negative aspects of the city or coming back or whatever. Figured home might feel like you're homebound because I went back from Asia to France, and I figured that home might feel like I'm homebound, but all I got was wasted time. Episodic lifetime, draw the curtain, I think is a line that applies to me more than, like, it's a very personal line, I guess, because I kind of think of my life as eras, and so it's kind of like an episodic lifetime, I guess. I don't know how else to put it, but that's kind of just something that I've felt for a long time, is that my life feels episodic. Reconstruct my mind through the right lens, close the book, flip the script, tell me you're the writer. In the end, it's just bodies in the river. Okay, and that's the writing. The fun part also at the end of this song is when I did the screaming. Because over here, in this part, we've got a lot of like... And that's all just me. Just... So I was screaming at the top of my lungs. In the end, it's just bodies in the river in my apartment building. I'm pretty sure if any of my neighbors understood English, they thought that I was insane. But yeah, it's just a fuck ton of layers.
In the end, it's just bodies. In the end, it's just bodies. In the end, it's just bodies in the river.
Just a fuck ton of yelling. I really fucked up my voice when I was doing this, but it sounded great at the end. Like... So that's Dead Bodies and Lime Scooters. I went through that one pretty quick. But yeah, you guys got any questions about this one? Let me know. If not, we'll move on to the final song, Bummed, which I really like. I really like Bummed. I think it's one of my favorite songs. You got no questions, I'm gonna move on. Bummed to Sig. So, Bummed is a song that I wrote when Dossie was at my house. And it's a song about, so I travel a lot, in case you didn't know, which is why my streaming schedule is so terrible, because I'll be home for like a month and then I'll travel. I travel a lot, and so something that I encounter a lot is the feeling like of a layover between two really long flights. So for instance, to come here to Asia from Europe, it's either one 16-hour flight or it's a 6.5-hour flight, a layover, and a 7-hour flight. And so when I came here this time, for instance, or actually this song was written right after I come back from Asia. I went to Asia last June and I came back in July. And I wrote this song right after that. Because at that, so you get these like, and you have a little break. So I've got the transition between Singapore and France. So we've got a recording from my friends in Singapore. And then some from my friends in France. And so it kind of signals the transition from one place to another. Second verse is the same as before, except I added a piano. Oh, and a bass down here. Second pre is the exact same. And then the final chorus has like a little fake out. And it's the same after that. And then we have a post chorus, which you get this like, so here I changed the melody, the guitars from like this strumming from this like ARP pattern to an ARP and a strumming pattern. And the chords change as well. And the chords get kind of wacky at the end here. So these were all a lot of fun to record. And then we've got these pads that follow the chords. And this piano. And down here the bass kind of adds some rhythm. And then another recording. But yeah, that's sort of the production. It's very simple, as you can see. I have lots of good memories of writing this track. I really like this track a lot. Partially also because I did a whole verse in French. So over here, so the first verse and chorus are all in English. Also, singing this chorus was fucking hard, man. Because I was trying to belt these notes that I normally falsetto.
Solemn nights feature rustling trees, Starlit skies, maybe a flowing stream, but shaky flights help me fall asleep.
And I was really struggling, and I remember like there's like a bunch of really dumb recordings in here somewhere of me fucking up this this chorus. Let me see if I can find any. Lead. These are all just so at first I tried to do it softly, and then
solemn nights.
It was really hard. Wait, where's the saw saw saw? There's a really funny one.
That was very.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Stop! Don't stop in the middle of that. Just into.
So you can hear I'm struggling. Is it in this one?
Solemn night.
So this was when I tried to record it and not like lower. Where is it?
That line is really hard. Transition.
I want to find this fucking take so bad. It's got to be one of these. I struggled so hard.
So, gang. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just.
Autumn nights feature rustling trees, but shaky flight. Autumn nights.
Yeah, here.
Saw. Autumn nights feature rustling streams.
So this is just like me and Dossie fucking around while I was trying to hit these notes. It was really dumb, but I think the fucking chorus came out beautiful. Got these all these harmonies as well.
Solemn nights feature rustling trees, starlit skies, maybe a flowing stream, but shaky.
Yeah. Anyway, and then I wrote a whole verse in French. So it was really fun to write in French again. I had only done that maybe once before. But yeah, fuck, 2 hours. All right, good. That's not too bad for an album breakdown. I wish I could have done it longer. If I was at my house in Paris, I probably could have done it longer because I wouldn't be A, pressed for time, and B, very uncomfortable sitting at this desk and working on this tiny screen. But if you want more in-depth breakdowns of these songs, feel free to ask me to put them on Patreon. And I will happily do in-depth breakdowns of some of these songs. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the album. I hope this was a decent stream. My viewership went from like 12 to 40 when Tails rated, and then now it's down back to 20, a pretty normal number, especially for this time. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm going to play the instrumental to this song quietly in the background while I like outro, I guess. This album means a lot to me. It's also like kind of like a time capsule of where I was at mentally last year. So I hope you listen to it. If you haven't listened to it yet, you can go find it on all of your streaming platforms. Just type in Funyoucanfeel, all in one word, like this. Funyoucanfeel Charlie. Just type that in and you'll find it. It's on YouTube too. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask me. Now's the time. Otherwise, I'm going to go. Yeah. I'm glad you appreciate the album more now. Yeah, there's a lot that went into this. And a lot of meaning as well into every song. But I think my favorite song is Bummed. Just because it's very me. The other songs were kind of me experimenting a little bit more with some of the poppier stuff or sort of alt-poppier stuff for myself, which I produce a lot of pop on a daily basis, but I don't make it for myself very often, so the other songs were kind of me experimenting with that for myself, but Bummed is a very Charlie song, and I think that's it's my favorite on the album. But yeah, in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I appreciate you guys for being here. Keep streaming the album if you like it. Support me on Patreon if you can. Sorry I haven't been very active on Twitch. I'll try to get back to it, but I'm so busy. I'm so booked. So I'll try. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Peace.